Maybe I set this up right now. I always have the worst luck with live streaming. So let me know if anyone can see this. I'll just wait a little bit here. I'm connected to YouTube's chat specifically, so that's good to know, I suppose. My stream is looking like it's up. That's nice. All right, we've got people now. Heya. Hello. I should copy a link and post this really quickly. Thanks for joining. I have the worst luck with live streaming. The only time I've ever had good luck live streaming. Yeah, you are number one. The only time I've had good luck live streaming is when I used a very specific platform. I fucking knew the title was going to cause people to panic just for those first 3 words. And I didn't mean for that. I wasn't trying to clickbait. I just thought it was the most accurate way of describing the situation. Let me log into my blue sky. I'm imagining you. I assume you all can't see my screen, and I am correct. Anyway, just me out here. Just me. Emily, it's funny. I was like, yeah, Emily left me alone for the evening, so I'm gonna live stream. And then as soon as I got it working, she came home. So that didn't really work out. So I'll only be here for a little bit. She came home and she is having, I think, a real tough day. You all don't know this about Emily. She's a big, important business lady. All right. She's always doing stuff for events. She always has to like go to conferences. She always has to meet new people and pitch things, and she's always doing stuff, and it's always taken her. She used to travel out of town way more. Her current job has her travel less, but it does have her stay late for like new clients and all this sort of stuff. A lot more. So she comes home, especially now that she's, I think we're about to start the 3rd trimester of her pregnancy. She comes home and she is beat, absolutely beat. I mean, you can't blame her. You know what I mean? So, she came home, and normally when she comes home, we spend time together. We cuddle up on the couch. We watch a nice TV show or two. We eat some good food, some nice dinner together. But seeing as how it is basically 8 p.m. for us right now, she is, and she's been working the entire day up until just now when she came home. I think it was a business dinner as well. So she's had food. She's socialized too much. She just wants to sleep and just be horizontal for a little bit, I suppose. And I get it. We do love some couch time in this house. I'm just going to post live now on my 2nd channel for no reason. That'll certainly encourage people to join. Oh, good, she came back. Hope she's well. She's fine. And congrats on the baby. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm assuming with everything that the stream is looking fine, doing fine. I'm purely assuming. I actually have no idea. I'm clicking around. Congrats on the baby. Thank you. Thank you so much. I was starting to say the only time I've ever had good luck with live streaming is in the past when I used a very specific live stream application that costs like $300 to $400 a year. And I don't know, at the time it seemed feasible or like one of those purchases where you're just like, yeah, this makes sense to do. Even though I don't live stream very much, it was also just nice because it was part live stream and part, just like recording stuff here, right? Recording stuff at my desk. And it made stuff easy to do. And yeah, it just didn't make sense to pay for it anymore. So I'm currently using a different. My previous live stream, I believe, was using just straight up OBS, just plain old OBS Studio, and I tried learning it, and it was fine, but it didn't do a lot of it. I mean, I'm sure it can do a lot of stuff that I want it to do, but it is just I don't have the time and energy to learn how to use OBS. OBS, I commend the people who know how to use it. I commend the people who build it. The big community of people who build OBS. I don't know how to use it, and I don't stream enough to invest the time into learning it. You know what I mean? So I'm using a different thing now, which is free. This is my eternal question of just like, I'm not sponsored by a company. Do I even say what it's going to be? Do I even say what I'm using? Either way, this is my first time actually live streaming with this piece of software. So just let me know if it's all good. I started 2 other live streams before this one because I couldn't understand. I was live streaming for a little bit, and then no one was showing up. There's nothing in chat. And I realized it's because all of my live streams were streaming unlisted. So I did it twice before realizing, oh, I should probably make them public for people to see. That's probably why no one's here. So yeah, I appreciate everyone being here. I can pull the chat up on screen too. This is nice. Hi, Scott and Emily. Hope you're well. Congratulations on the baby. You're both going to be amazing parents. Thank you. We can't be here if you don't tell us. That is true. That is correct. All right. Since the chat's on screen, I'm going to need best behaviors from everyone, all right? Don't be weird. But yes, the title makes it seem like she's gone on an overnight trip somewhere. I didn't know she was back. I didn't know when she would be back, but she's back now. She's back now, and I think she just needs screen time, you know? We're talking a lot about screen time these days, especially with a little baby on the way. We're talking about screen time, best practices for baby. We're pretty strong in the idea that we don't want a baby to even acknowledge that screens exist, until they're like minimum 3 years old, I think. So that's gonna be hard. But I think as adults, I think Emily needs some screen time. I need some screen time here and there. I'm doing it right now. There's a screen in front of me with all your messages on it. Scott, what tea are you drinking? Plus, what is the best nighttime tea to drink? Urgent, the plane needs to land. I'm currently not drinking tea. My parents got me an espresso machine, kind of, for my birthday this year, which I did not ask them to do, but, appreciative either way. Scott, this is an incredibly dramatic title, says Emily. Emily is Adelie. That's her username, by the way. Can I make you a mod? Not from here, but I can do that. I'm sure in the actual thing. Let's see. Add as moderator. Emily is top mod. Oh, you know what? Sadib is here too. I'll make you a mod. You are a standard moderator. Emily is top moderator. No offense. Oh, and the BB Phantom. I'll make you a mod too. All right. We've got a couple mods here now. Now no one be weird. Because now we've got people. Yeah, no, I'm not drinking tea right now. I'm drinking at 8 p.m. I'm drinking espresso, which is probably not great for me. I'm probably not going to go to sleep. I figured I would be live streaming for a while. I didn't know when Emily was going to be back. So I was just trying to stay up, but no, she's back. All right. Oh, I should ask that, or I should answer that second part of the question. But in the meantime, everyone else, we'll turn this into an AMA. Ask me anything within like parentheses within reason. Parentheses, don't be weird. You know what I mean? So that's what we'll do. And so to answer the second part of the question, what is the best nighttime tea? Now, here's the thing. I like an herbal tea. I do. But to me, the best nighttime tea, I want to feel cozy. I want to feel like, I don't know. I think it's still going to be a black tea, but it's going to be a decaffeinated black tea. I think a decaffeinated, just English black tea. It sounds silly to say English breakfast tea for nighttime, but that's kind of how I'm feeling. Maybe like an Earl Grey, like a decaffeinated Earl Grey. Put a little vanilla in it. You got yourself a nighttime London fog with a little cream. I think that's the thing for me. And herbal tea is great. Chamomile, bedtime tea, all of that stuff. Peppermint tea if your stomach's upset, or a ginger tea, either one of those. But nah, for me it's gotta be just like a black tea with some milk. Very warm, very hot, but yeah, that's what I would do. Would you ever consider jumping back and doing educational videos on comic books? Did I not recently? I kind of did, right? I did one that got like 1 million views like 2 months ago. So I guess the answer is yes. All of my Superman videos, I would consider those to be educational videos about comic books because they all talked about comic books and the Superman comics in them. So I did, and they were successful. Let's see. Best nighttime tea is coffee. Emily and I have this meme that we absolutely love, and we keep talking about how we want it on a pillow. So if any of you guys are artists out there, we'll pay you. Maybe. I can't say that with Emily, but I would pay you if you did this. Emily hates paying artists for things they make. I'm just kidding. But we have this meme that we really like and we want it on a pillow, which is it's for a High Point coffee commercial from like decades ago. And it's I'm laughing just thinking about it. It starts It starts with the absolutely unhinged line. I can't even do it. It's so funny. The best time of day is night. Oh, man. It's so funny. The best time of day is night. Uh, so we think we want that. We want that on a pillow. We just think it's very funny. Look it up. It's a High Point coffee commercial. Let's see other things. Love Earl Grey's. I also love Earl Grey. What's your opinion on Scooby-Doo having actual paranormal stuff in it? Oh, I made a whole video about this, but thank you for asking. One of my first like big Scooby-Doo video. It's not my first Scooby-Doo video, but I guess my first like bigger one. During the pandemic, I talked a lot about this. I think it's really interesting. I think it puts Scooby-Doo in, not to rehash my video, but it puts Scooby-Doo in this really interesting genre of fiction that I believe is called the Fantastic, where it is on the edge of, someone correct me if I'm wrong about that terminology, because there were 3 terms, but I think the Fantastic is the one in the middle. It's been like literally like 4 or 5 years since I made this video, but it's in this realm where it could go either way. And at the start of any new Scooby-Doo story, you're never quite sure. Is this one that's going to be people in masks? Or is it one that's going to be paranormal monsters? Actual supernatural stuff, or just easily explainable in universe as a person in a mask? Or a mix of both? Who knows? And so I think that makes it a really unique franchise in that regard, where you never really know what you're going to get with each new version of it, right? Every new Scooby-Doo project, there's always this question that comes up. Is it going to be actual paranormal stuff? Is it not? And I think that makes it really cool. So, oh, Emily posted the High Point commercial. Thank you, Emily. The best time of day is night. Can I pin your comment? Pin message. Emily's got it. Pinned it for everybody. This doesn't show up in my videos, right? Because, I've got this whole basement to film in, and I film in different areas and whatnot. So you all might not know this, but right next to me, 3 feet away, right, is a bathroom that we keep the cat's litter box in. And one of the cats took the smelliest shit I've ever smelled right now. And it's truly awful. And there's nothing I can do about it because I'm live. So that's great. It's fun for me. Fun for me to deal with. Schrodinger's monster. That's an interesting way of putting it, yeah. All right, I need to scroll back up and read a couple other people here. That video is one of my favorites. Thank you so much for that. Are you still in contact? This is from a comment a while back. Can I? Oh, I can. Nah, never mind. Sorry, I was just trying to see if I could reply or like pop it out on screen for anyone, but I don't think I can. Are you still in contact with any YouTubers you used to be in the same circles as, like Mr. Sunday Movies or Variant Comics, for example? Not really. I think the person I have the most contact with, comic book wise, is probably Owen from Owen Likes Comics. Not that we talk very often, but we still like each other's stuff here and there. Like physically like it on social media. You know what I mean? I still do the same with like Mr. Sunday Movies. I think he continues to make good stuff. I just think he's got a very unique voice in the space. Um, Variant, I can't say I've really followed anything Variant has done in many, many years. Eris used to hop on my live streams whenever I went live on like Instagram, and he would just hop on. And I think the last time he did that, we had a very strong disagreement about the Last Jedi, where I think The Last Jedi is a good movie. Don't be weird in the comments, but I think it's a good movie. And he was very much like, no, it's not, it's bad. And that's when I was like, I don't know if we're going to talk anymore, which is, that's not like the thing that made us not communicate, but it was just sort of like one of those, like, I think we're different kinds of nerdy people. Whereas, like, I like the story, I like the themes, I like what people are trying, like the narrative that stories are trying to tell. And I feel like there's another form of nerd that just wants, like, that just likes the plot. I talk about this a lot, but like there's such a big difference between plot and story, and I feel like you can really find the divide of specifically, I think, a lot of nerdy people between those two camps where I'm like, I just want a really good story. And then there are other people who are like, I want a really good plot, where it's like, I want, the plot is like, I want this action sequence to be cool. I want these characters to interact. I want this revelation or something like that. Whereas I'm like, I don't really care about any of that stuff. I care about the bigger picture, like, what am I going to walk away with, in my everyday life? What message are you trying to tell? So I feel like there are different people in that. And I'm not saying one is better than the other. You can like both. You can have people in either camp. I'm just saying, for me, it was very it's hard to engage with like conversations about media for me with people who really focus on like the plot. I think Star Wars is such a great example of like so much modern Star Wars is a lot of like, I even make a joke about this in my recent video, where so much modern Star Wars is about like, how are these characters connected? And you remember this plot point? And like, you remember this imagery from this other movie that we're going to recreate now? And like, what about this reference to this thing over here? And there's a lot of people who really find that super cool and interesting. And they like seeing references to other Star Wars things and current Star Wars things. And they like having like fan theories confirmed or what have you. Whereas for me, I've largely given up on Star Wars stuff, except for a couple months ago, I finally sat down and watched Andor, because I've heard that is like, in my sphere of people, like the only good Star Wars in recent years. Because I think I gave up on Star Wars after Mandalorian season 2, and I was like, it's fine. It was fine. And then they sort of undid, as far as I understand, they sort of undid a lot of those character arcs and whatnot in other seasons and other spin-offs and whatnot. And I just didn't really care. But then Andor comes out and it's like, oh, this is like people who don't, I feel like there's so much Star Wars that's written by people who so love, again, like the references and the callbacks and the lore. And I feel like Andor was written by people who couldn't care less if it was Star Wars. They just wanted to write and make and film a show that had a really strong message, or a couple strong messages. And it just so happened to be Star Wars. So I thought that, and that's what makes it great. I keep getting distracted. That was such a long thing. I need to read all your other guys' comments. Let me see. I just only watched that video yesterday. I'm completely missed the beginning of the Scoob era. Oh, talking about my COVID era Scoob videos. Yeah, that was a fun video. I put a lot of effort into that video. That was back when I was like turning every video into like every video has to have like a narrative throughout, not just like a message that I want to give, but like I have to act in it, which was very fun. It was absolutely not sustainable. I wish I could do that. I wish every video had like a narrative running through it these days, but sadly it does not. It cannot. Hey man, been a fan since way back in the early NerdSync podcast days. Any advice for doing movie reaction or reaction content in general? Big question, but appreciate ya. That's a good question. I don't do I feel like I don't do too much of it. I do as much as I feel like I can get away with. And I think my biggest advice is, for me, I think it's more fun with someone. That's why I always try to bring my friend Phil from Tulok the Barbarian or Tulok and Mango on, because it's just fun to bounce off of somebody. Lux loves to, this is Lux back here. He loves to sleep on this chair. That's his favorite spot at night. And then you can't see it, but in this, actually, is he in there now? I don't think so. Hold on. Zoom. Not on me. Back here. Oop, there. Camera, can you zoom in? Camera, zoom in. No, but in the igloo, there's this igloo here, right? It's a cat little igloo. Castor loves to sleep in here. Sorry, everything's like backwards. But Lux, I'll zoom in on Lux so you guys can see Lux. Zoom, go away, Scott, go away. Hold on, wait, where's the best way for me to move? There we go. There he is, there's the boy. That's as far as I can zoom. I'm sorry. Anyway. But yeah, I always like having someone around to react to and to react with. So I always like to have Phil. If not, honestly, I can really only give you productivity tips, because like otherwise it's just gonna be like, how do you like improve as a creator? You just got to do it a lot and find your voice. You know what I mean? Like find the voice that you can do that that is. It doesn't really. I feel like people always say like you need to find something that's unique to you. But like all of your thoughts are unique to you unless you're plagiarizing someone else. So like, you know, I'm the kind of person, I've said this a lot. Like I'm the kind of person, when like news breaks about something that I care about, I will watch 5 or 6 videos. I have to say 5 or 6. My instinct is to say 6 to 7, but that's a meme, and people will make fun of me for that. I always watch 5 to 6 videos about like different people reacting to the same news, because I want to get all these different takes, and someone will have a new piece of information or a new interesting take or something like that. So like, yeah. Find the stuff that's interesting to you. Otherwise, it's just all I can really give you is like productivity advice. Like, set up scenes in an OBS or something like that to make it easier to edit, and you don't have to compile the outline or the layout in your editor. You just do it on screen and whatnot. I've been doing that for a couple of my recent videos. And the editor I work with, who edits my sort of reaction stuff, has recently said that it has been extremely helpful. I only really work with editors if for the reaction stuff, because I don't think I'm particularly good at editing reaction style content. I feel like that is a specific niche of editor, and I'm more than happy to hand it off to someone else. Whereas the essays that are more scripted, or like, it's hard for me to hand that off to somebody else. I much prefer just working on that by myself, because I'll write in a way where I know what I'm going to show on screen when I'm saying something, and it's hard to communicate that with an editor effectively. All right. Sorry, that was a long one. Let me see. Holy crap, it's Scott. The Last Jedi is the best Star Wars film in my opinion. This is such a weird thing, and I don't know if any of you will understand what I'm going to say. But to me, The Last Jedi is the best film in the Star Wars franchise, but A New Hope is the best Star Wars film, if that makes sense. Like, if I want to feel the vibe of Star Wars and like really feel like I'm in that world, the movie that I reach for is A New Hope. Like that is like, I mean, obviously it's like the one that started it all, but that to me feels like this is Star Wars. Whereas The Last Jedi, I'm like, if I'm feeling in the mood to get absolutely astounded by writing and cinematography and all this other stuff, I'm like, I want to watch it, and it's, I'm going to watch this movie that just so happens to be Star Wars, if that makes sense. So like in my head, right, there are people who love Star Wars and they love Rian Johnson's other movies, like some other people in this chat, but they have this like hang up about The Last Jedi. And like in my head, like I get that because it isn't what I would consider to be like, this isn't like the Star Wars movie in my head. It's a really good movie. And if you care so deeply about it feeling like Star Wars, then I fully get that it might rub you the wrong way. But man, it's such a good movie. And yeah, and I would agree with that. Like I feel like it is not a movie that feels quintessentially Star Wars. It is just a Star Wars movie that I think is incredibly well made and has good themes. And I like it. Anyway, man, many years ago I forbid myself from talking about Star Wars on the internet for like specifically this reason. Because I feel like people get weird specifically about The Last Jedi. That's fine. I get it. Anyway, yeah, the faults of The Last Jedi are the result of a lack of planning for that. Yeah, I think that's fine. And I feel like it sucks just because like I don't know, it really wasn't I would say Rian Johnson's fault. Like he was just like, do your thing. And he did. And made some really interesting choices. And then those choices were like sort of overridden in the next one. Really annoying. Anyway. Yeah, you don't think the stories need to be planned ahead of time? That's fair too. The original Star Wars movies weren't really planned ahead of time, but they at least had one director behind the all three of them. Whereas in the sequel trilogy, it was all it was two different directors. It was originally going to be three, but it was two different directors. And it really felt like by the third one, J.J. Abrams was just like fighting with Rian Johnson because it was like, hey, you shouldn't have done this, and it just came off sort of bad. No more Star Wars. Sorry, I'm just like I'm just reading all of your all of your ancient comments in here because I keep not keeping up with it in real time. Countdown stream until Gambit releases and Rivals tomorrow. Have they released Rivals for a platform that I can play it on yet? Because I don't have a PC or a Steam Deck. I have a Switch 2, or not a Switch 2. I have an original Switch, but I just found out that that's because I tried powering it on the other day, and I just found out that one of my controllers does have drift in it, which was sad, because I wanted to play Hades 2, which I still haven't been able to play. Hades 1 is my favorite game. The best Star Wars film is Night. That's very funny. Yeah, I actually totally understand what you mean, Scott. It's like James Bond. Skyfall is the best in the franchise, but if you want one that feels like the most Bond, it's the earlier ones. I think that's a really good analogy to it. There are really, there was an era where I wanted to watch all of the James Bond franchise because I was like, I'm missing out on this franchise that people love. So um, I started trying to find or started to watch them from the beginning, and like the first Bond movie, like is not what I thought Bond was gonna be because they're like, there's like no gadgets. I was like expecting like cool spy movie gadgets because I guess I'm just so used to in my head I was used to all the things that was inspired by James Bond and like spy stuff like that. So like in my head I was like, I've watched Totally Spies. I think everyone gets 3 to 4 gadgets per episode. And so I was like, there's no cool gadgets in these early Bond movies. I think the second one remedied it a little bit, but it was like, yeah, I get that. I was like, I had this very different idea in my head. Um, your editing PC doesn't work. I don't edit on a PC, guys. I edit on a Macintosh. I edit on a MacBook. Is Marvel Rivals available on a Mac? I don't think it is. At least I didn't think so. It wasn't at launch. I think they were bringing it to Mac later, so I don't know if that works. In that regard for Marvel Rivals. Scott, Steam just announced they're making PC too. I did see that. I haven't looked into it at all. Emily and I have been toying with this idea for like a year and a half of like, should we just get a Steam Deck for us because she's got cozy games that she wants to play that aren't available anywhere except Steam and PC. And I have games that I want to play that aren't available anywhere except Steam and PC. So we have thought about it, but have yet to pull the trigger. I think it's because they never go on like sale. Like I think last year for Black Friday, there was like one version of the Steam Deck that went on sale, but it on sale was still, it was like one configuration of the Steam Deck went on sale, but that configuration on sale was like still so expensive because it wasn't the cheapest configuration that was on sale. Anyway, one day I'll have some kind of Steam or PC thing. I'm also just like unclear if like I know I would be fine with a Steam Deck. I know it's like big compared to like the original Nintendo Switch, which is the only like modern handheld that I have a reference for. But I am curious to know if it would be too big for Emily, because Emily wants to play her cozy games on there, and I love that for her. But is it too big and heavy to play for long periods of time? I don't know. Surely it can't be. People love this thing. So, I don't know. I'm not like up to date, you know? I make this joke a lot. I don't really game that much. I aspire to game more. I like video games. I don't play very many of them, nor do I nor do I really care about most modern like, AAA video games, right? I like Nintendo stuff, but I was 3 years into the Nintendo Switch original, system before I got mine. So I wasn't like immediate, jump the gun on that. It doesn't matter. Emily and I are going to add a Steam Deck to our baby registry. And I guess that will determine if our little one's going to be a gamer. Or if Emily will. If Emily will be. Oh, Emily, I would love to do a video about Totally Spies. I love Totally Spies. The only thing I can think of when it comes to Totally Spies is, first of all, great show. But the voice actor for Alex, the one in the yellow jumpsuit, right? Yes. Was also the voice actor for a very common character on Adventures in Odyssey, which is a biblical radio show / cartoon series that my family would listen to. So I always, in my head, heard those as the same character. And then I believe she was replaced when they did like not a reboot, but like, I don't know. They did another series where she and the guy who played Jerry were replaced. And Jerry's new voice actor sucked. Was so different. Truly awful. Did anyone else only read the first 3 words of the stream title and have their jaw hit the floor before reading the last 4? I promise I wasn't trying to clickbait. It was just the most accurate sentence I could think of that was like kind of funny. Emily is here in the chat. She's fine. She is 1 floor above me. I'm in the basement. Let me see. Yeah, tell people so that it's just so the baby can be a pro gamer 100%. Unrelated, I just came to say thanks for getting me back into Scooby-Doo. Loved the gang as a kid, and now I love them even more. Keep those vids coming. I'm crying. Emily and I are leaving on a family vacation in a little over a week, so I have not a lot of time before I have to get 1 or 2 other videos out. So this live stream, it's not really helping with my productivity, but I want to do it. Have you heard of the new game Dispatch? It seems really cool. You can play like an emergency services coordinator, but the thing you're coordinating is superheroes. That's cool. There's been a if it's what it sounds like to me, there's been a series of games like this. Is it like is the sort of interface or the sort of perspective like a computer UI or something like that? Because there's been a quite a few amount of games that have just been like you are a call like a phone, like a service person over the phone helping people do things like there was that one that was like for paranormal mysteries or something like that, or like paranormal creatures where it's like, hey, my sink is doing this weird thing, and then it's like, oh yeah, that's this sort of creature. Is it sort of like that? Because if so, I feel like that's cool, and also it's interesting that that's like a genre of game that is becoming, I feel, quite popular. Oh, it's like similar to a Telltale style game. Okay. It's made by the old Telltale Studios people. Well, you know, I liked Telltale. I don't think Telltale specifically sponsored me, but I don't even think sponsored. I think I was just handed a free key to when they did Batman. And so I played the first chapter of that Batman game, which I thought was fun. I also played, obviously, Wolf Among Us, which was very good. This was like obviously years ago. Yeah, I'm not even unsupervised. Emily is here in the chat and also above the upstairs. I went back to watch an episode of Totally Spies last year, and it did not hold up for me. The voice acting and animation were extremely low budget, and they reused the same crowd shots 4 times. Oh, man. Well, that's fair. Maybe it's better in my head. You never know. I don't really mind a low-budget animation thing, though. But yeah, I guess if the voice acting you were saying were bad, then I get that. Just a fun concept, that show. I work for one of the voice actors in that game. Wait, which game? I've forgotten already. The Batman one that I was talking about? Or the other thing? Be more specific. Oh, Tulok's here. Phil's here. Here we go. I'm going to put you as a moderator as well. Can manage blocked words, change chat modes live. Yeah, why not? Just in case we get some weird people in here. We haven't so far. Even though, if you can believe it, we talked about The Last Jedi. And everyone was pretty chill about it. So let me see. Don't get me wrong, I love the concept. Wish it had been done again. There are lots of shows like that. I keep talking how I think they should redo 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo. It's a great concept. I just wish it was better. What did you think of the Scooby-Doo X Fortnite collab last month? You know, that's a video I should have made. I should have done like a reaction video to that. I had a lot of thoughts. Not really. I didn't have a lot of thoughts. I had like a thought, which was I hate that they made Scooby have like normal hands. I feel like Fortnite is like, they gotta have like $1 billion by now. They could have done a better rig for that character, for Scooby, to have like actual paws. They can afford it. Yeah, yeah, you have been here for a while, Phil. I just forgot. I wasn't reading the names. And I should be doing that. For dispatch. Oh, cool. Cool. How many collabs does Fortnite have each month? I swear I've heard of like 100 in the past week. This is what I'm saying. They have all the money. They can do better. They can do better. Yeah, you were here. I'm sorry for not recognizing you earlier, Phil. I'm sorry. Hey, Scott, I had a mini heart attack when I saw the title. I'm sorry. What? All right, I'm going to crowdsource a new title for this live stream. What should the title be? Remember that time you brought me into that comic book creator Fortnite charity stream and then couldn't make it, so I was assigned to a random duo? I do remember that. So what happened was there was a charity live stream with like a lot of different comic book YouTubers and other creators and things like that playing Fortnite. They've done a couple of them now. I've not been able to make any of them because in my head, this is how tuned into gaming I am, all right? It's not a meme. This is how little I know about video games. In my head, I was like, yeah, Fortnite's available for every platform. It's available, and all I have are Apple devices. I've got a phone and I've got a computer. It'll be available for those. Now that sounds ridiculous to some of you out there, because like technically it is available, but extremely old versions that they refused to update at the time anyway. I don't know if it's gotten any better. Because of Apple and Epic, and there's a whole big lawsuit and things like that. So I, in my head, was like, I'll be able to join, and then I couldn't join. And then, but I had already was like, yeah, I'll be on a team with my good friend Phil. He's a gamer, and we'll be on a team together. And then I couldn't make it, obviously, because I don't have a thing. I could have used the Switch. I could have used the Nintendo Switch. It just would have been a hassle to get that to stream, and whatnot. And I didn't really feel like it. So, anyway, and then Phil still had to join. And, or not, I guess, I don't know if you had to, but, or obligated to, I suppose. And then, oh, hey, thank you for the super chat. But I wasn't there, so I apologize, Phil, for leaving you hanging. Thank you so much for the super chat. Very tired me. Love your vids. Been watching a long time. Never knew I needed so much Scooby content in my life before you made videos. Hope you're having a good night. Thank you so much. That means a lot. Yeah, Phil did not know how to join the lobby and made the host of the event mad. That's fair. I've been on a couple live streams with that specific host. I have nothing bad to say about the host. I don't know why I'm like hiding who they are. But they definitely try to run a tight ship. They want to be like professional appearing, and so in the past, I've done a similar thing where I've like either didn't know how to join the stream or like overstayed my welcome in a way without realizing that I was, because I didn't really know like to log off or whatever. I don't know. It was like a whole thing. They just like to run a tight ship, and I get it. Meanwhile, I'm here barely knowing how to live stream. I did want to add, in addition to the super chat, I did want to say thank you to everyone who watched my video on this channel about the book talk drama. You helped get this channel monetized, which is very nice, and I appreciate that. So that we can have super chats and stuff like that, or just, videos that have ads on them, which is nice. Any little thing that I can do that will bring us some income so that I can take some paternity leave early next year. Emily has a real person job, and she has maternity leave. But I believe, I don't want to say too much, I guess. I don't know what Emily feels comfortable sharing, but it's definitely one of those things where it's like as much money as we can have to comfortably survive for a couple months would be helpful. So I am planning on, I assume I'm going to try to upload on this channel more, because I don't know, in my head I'm like, there's such a high bar of quality on my other channel that like I don't want to upload slop, whereas like on this channel I will happily upload slop, especially now that it can be monetized, so I appreciate that. I was also thinking about Hades review. I can do a Hades review. I can't do a Hades 2 review. I mean, I could, but it's just I only have the Nintendo Switch 1 and my Joy-Con has drift in it. Extremely bad, which I didn't realize until recently because I have not been playing my Switch very much. So Hades 1 review is going to be great game. My favorite game. Best game. I've heard Hades 2 is somehow better in most areas. I've heard that there are like maybe one or two areas where I've heard that the storyline isn't as compelling as the first game, but otherwise like the actual gameplay is better. But don't tell me anything else about it because I specifically haven't looked up reviews. I've not watched gameplay. I don't know anything because I know I'm going to play this game at some point and I know I'm going to love it. I just don't know when. I would love to. But I was going to say, at some point next year, probably in January, it'll be like the last month I can, either that or in December of this year, I want to do a live stream where I play as many Scooby-Doo based video games as I can until we make enough money either through Super Chats or through Patreon or something like that I feel comfortable taking some time off to obviously take care of baby and not feel guilty about not posting videos. I mean, this year I definitely took time off, but that was unintentional, and I felt guilty the whole time of not posting videos. I would like to not feel guilty of not posting videos when I'm taking care of a human life. That would be nice. Mel's here. Mel, you're going to be a moderator too. I'm so happy that I'm making so many cool people moderators so we don't get weird people in the chat. Not that we get weird people in the chat. Oh, I need to change the stream title. Sorry. I'm going to do that. Can I do it from here? All right, I'm going to change the stream title from my streaming software. And if it doesn't work, then it's one of those things where I'm like, is it just going to create a new stream? I don't know. But we have to test this stuff. All right? If it creates a new stream, promise me you'll come visit. But I think I can just change the title without creating a new stream. This is how bad at live streaming I am. Scott, please read this out loud. Hades 1, very good. But Hades 2, nuts. God damn it. Hey, D's 2 nuts. Hey, D's 2 nuts. Got him. But is it actually good, though? I think it is. Emily away, so Scott will play. Just change it to live stream so it's as accurate as possible. That's also good. All right. All right. Emily, I'm changing the title now. Emily is here. Wait, hold on. Emily did not leave me. No, that's too bad. I can't do that. I'm just going to do a live stream. It's just going to be a live stream with no clickbait. A live stream with no clickbait is what I'm changing it to. Oh, an error occurred. All right, so I can't change it from my streaming app. That's fine. I will change it on the browser really quickly. Here we go. Oh, wait, I could change it. It's changed. A live stream with no clickbait. Refresh. Refresh your pages, everyone. The title has changed. Addressing the allegations. My truth. Yeah. Thank you for the super chat, Phil. I appreciate it. It's a live stream with no clickbait is the new title. Hopefully it works for you all. Just overly explain our relationship to the internet. Emily and I are married, and she is pregnant, and we live in the same house together, and we eat dinner together most nights. She makes me watch Sister Wives on Mondays. I make her watch The Chair Company also on Mondays. It's a fun double feature. Why is she pregnant? We have to find the man who did this to her. And then it just cuts to the meme from Lord of the Rings that says, "I am no man, but it's just me." Because I'm a gender. Married and living together? Scandalous. I know. How about making big plans for January 6th to talk about how you're planning on that Scoob stream? Yikes! Oh my god. Let's see. Have I seen Shrinking on Apple TV? I have. Emily and I have talked about this before. I think Shrinking is as good, if not better, than Ted Lasso. I think it hits me in the feels harder while also giving me bigger belly laughs than Ted Lasso. But the problem is that it's harder to get into. I think Ted Lasso is like within an episode or two, you're like, I get this show, and I'm here for the ride. Whereas Shrinking, you need like a full season, maybe a season and a half, because it's depressing. Hey, you got a water there, big dog? Oh, I don't actually. I just finished my coffee. I won't stream too much longer. I should drink water, though. That's a good call. Everyone drink water. Drink your water, everyone. Hydration is important. I know. I am never more aware of my constant dehydration than when I edit my audio for a video or a podcast and I just hear all of the mouth clicks that I make with my voice and my very dry mouth. I definitely need to drink more water. Have I ever watched Twin Peaks? And if so, have you also watched Fire Walk with Me and The Return? Yes to the first, and no to the other two, actually. I watched Twin Peaks in high school. A friend of mine got me into... The same friend of mine, I believe his name was Dustin, got me into Twin Peaks. He was the friend that would come to school with like a USB drive of like pirated movies and TV shows that we would watch in our like computer class, like when the teacher wasn't around, which was all the time in my school. So like he brought in Twin Peaks. We watched the entirety of Twin Peaks, but I never watched Firewalk with Me. He did. And then he also brought in similarly why can't I think of the name of it? Scott Bakula was in it. Quantum Leap. He brought in Quantum Leap. And we watched, not in order, but random seasons and episodes of Quantum Leap over and over and over again. And that was fun. What a good show. Have I ever done a full Scooby-Doo Christmas tree? No. Emily and I think are gonna get our first Christmas tree this year. We have always had like a little one that I had in like an apartment. But we're gonna maybe get our first full-size tree this year. Was Dustin an affirming friend who affected your self-esteem in a positive way? This feels like you're setting me up for something. So you and Dustin had fun watching those shows. Those were good times. Yes, I will say yes to that. Phil? Patrick is also here. Patrick, good news. I'm making you a mod. I'm making so many people mods again, just to make sure there are no weird people. And there haven't been, but can't have enough mods. 1/2 of every person is going to be a mod. Oh, you just want to know if Dustin makes me feel good. That's good. Got him. Have I ever watched Psych? Emily and I are currently watching through Psych. I have watched it twice through before. Back when I was in high school and then again in college. So it has been... Don't make me say it out loud. It has been almost 15 years since I've seen it. That's a long time since I've been in college. Closer to maybe 12 or 13 years. But still, Emily is watching it for the first time. I will say it is going, the watch is going incredibly slow because I fully forgot how absolutely womanizing Sean is, at least in the first season. Hope he gets better. Other than that, love his just general energy and his general vibe, but don't like how everything he does is kind of a little bit sleazy. Yeah, Sean Spencer for sure fucks 100%. I just need him to be a little bit of a better person. I will say, I think I talked about this before, but I am very into the Sherlock Holmes books, and so I didn't realize at the time when I was watching Psych that it was just Sherlock Holmes. Like I knew that House was Sherlock Holmes, but diseases and ailments and such. But it never occurred to me that Psych was until we started watching it again just recently, and I was like, oh my god, it literally just is Sherlock Holmes. Like all the way to Gus, his Watson is he's like a pharmaceutical salesman, which is like his tie to the medical field, the way that Watson is a doctor. And Lassiter is their version of Lestrade. Very similar namesake there. All good stuff. Even what was I gonna say? Because there's even Sean's dad is similar to a Mycroft, which is Sherlock's brother, where it's like they have the similar powers, right? Powers, quote unquote. They have the similar power of deduction, but in the books, Mycroft is to Sherlock Holmes. They're just very lazy. Like he has the power of deduction, but doesn't want to follow through with actually like solving cases. And that's how Sean's dad is in the show, because he's retired. You know what I mean? Like he's just like, I don't want to be involved with cases anymore. I have the same level of deduction that you do, or potentially better than Sean, but I don't want to be involved. And that's very similar to a Mycroft in the books, which is very, very cool. Sorry. Sherlock Holmes fucks as well. Yep, for sure. Bella, say hi, by the way. Oh, and we're watching House, so both of us are watching a Sherlock thing. Cool. I never watched House all the way through. It was just on TV a lot. So if House is good and I need to watch it, let me know. Emily and I love a good medical drama. We watched all of Grey's Anatomy. We're caught up on it. It's still going. We watched all of ER. What a show. Those first 6 to 8 seasons of ER are just incredible. And then it keeps going for another 8 seasons. But we watched it. Have I watched Money Heist? No, I have not. Should I? I actually watched House for the first time this year. It was pretty good. Occasionally there was an episode that has not aged well. I expect that. So many of these shows have episodes that don't age well. Really, Sherlock Holmes, freaking woke society should obviously be Shimcock Holmes. Yeah. Not she Herlock, all right? Just get the wokies out of here. She Herlock Holmes, psh, get out. House is good. Me when I'm in the economy. Yeah, I know. Tell me about it. Not a drama. Have you seen Scrubs? That's another one that was on a lot. Just on TV. Never watched it all the way through. Emily and I think have talked about maybe that's one we watch next. But man, I can tell you this. My friend, my oldest friend Josh and I, some of you may know Josh from extremely early days on the NerdSync channel when he would do prop building tutorials. But my oldest friend in the world, Josh, and I could quote every song and sing every song in the Scrubs musical. And again, I have not seen the show all the way through. It was just on, but boy, Josh and I listened to the musical numbers and the Scrubs musical a lot. Everything comes down to poo, guys. Whether it's a tumor or a touch of the flu. Scrubs is the best American sitcom, in my opinion. Nice. Also the most correct ER take. Have you watched The Pitt? Yes, Emily and I love The Pitt. We're so excited for The Pitt to come back. We love Noah Wyle. I mean, again, we love ER. Happy to see him back. I love Noah Wyle. I love Noah Wyle so much, I watched the Librarians movies. All right? Have I watched all of Community? I have. I don't think Emily has. I have watched all of it while it was airing and jumping between different networks and weird niche streaming services. I watched it all, baby. Started watching How I Met Your Mother for the first time last week. See, that's a show that was always on that I never watched. My brother and sister watched it. It was just always on. But I like, would walk in the room and there'd be an episode on, but I never really watched it. Yeah, Emily says she has not watched Community. The Pit is the best show on the planet, says Emily. I agree. It's extremely good. Huge recommendation on The Pit. So big. Kitty cameo in the background. I think that was Lux. Little Luxo. Remember when Community spent all of Yahoo's money and killed their streaming service? Yeah, that was pretty good. I remember that. I had to watch it on my very old, very falling apart iPad because I couldn't, because that's where the streaming service was. And then it was such a badly formatted app too, because they really wanted you to watch anything in addition to Community, and the only reason anyone ever downloaded the app was for Community. Have you watched The Faculty? I watched it on a whim last night. It's a perfect 90s sci-fi horror B-movie. I have not. I've never heard of that. Burn Notice. I've watched all of Burn Notice. I watched all of Burn Notice and Psych. Emily was really into Royal Pains. And then I watched a couple seasons of White Collar. Boy. Was it TNT? Was that the network? They had a run of shows, man. Characters welcome indeed. Hard recommend, my favorite TV show. I just want the Community movie to come out. Yeah. Burn Notice was on all the time when I was a kid. It was USA, not TNT. You're correct. USA, characters welcome. Bruce Campbell was incredible. Always drinking a mojito on that show. Always made me want to drink a mojito as an adult. And I still don't think I ever have. I don't know what's in a mojito. Is it rum? It feels like it's rum. Never had one. Not here for long. How we doing? We're doing good, Mopey. Thank you for being here. It seems I've already made you a mod, so the ratio of one commenter to one mod stays intact. Did you see that Stellan Skarsgård said that TV is, quote, poor man's storytelling? What? That's wild. That's a wild thing to say. Mojitos are rum, mint, lime juice, and soda water. Easy. Still never had one. Maybe I will. It's a very summertime feeling kind of drink, so I will have to wait another 6 to 8 months, maybe. It doesn't feel like a nice fall into winter drink. It feels like, maybe I'm just associating it with Burn Notice, where the ambient temperature on Burn Notice at any given moment felt like it was minimum 85 degrees with 90% humidity. Everyone on that show was glowing and sweaty and in shirts that could have been unbuttoned, 1 or 2 more buttons, just for the actor's sake. That's what it felt like. All right. I probably won't stream for too much longer. Ask me your burning questions on your mind. And then I'm gonna go see what my wife is up to. My wife, who has not left, she's here. She's here, and this is just a live stream with no clickbait. I don't know what you guys are talking about. So ask me those good questions. What Scooby-Doo video games do you want me to play on a live stream? I'm already planning on playing Night of 1,000 Frights, or is it 100 Frights? Night of 100 Frights? That makes more sense. I'm already planning on playing that one because I think that's everyone's favorite. But there have been Scooby-Doo video games ever since the original NES. So we've got, and like point and click video games. I will say the one that I tried to get to work once out of curiosity is a Scooby and Scrappy game for some system, like an Amiga system. I don't know. And I could never get it to run because you need very specific emulation needs, and just couldn't figure it out. Have you read anything good recently, either comics or books? That's a good question. I mean, if anything, I need recommendations. I've just been, I said this earlier, but like all of my book time has just been Sherlock Holmes. I have them in audiobook format, and it's about 50 full hours or more of Sherlock Holmes. And I've been working through those, and I just love them so much. So that's all I've been really reading. Nothing new. I've only been reading the opposite of new. I've been reading things that are so old they're in the public domain. Let's see. Favorite letter of any alphabet? Ooh. It's probably Sigma. I think it's probably my favorite letter. I'm like, fucking Sigma. Sigma's good because I identify with that. I don't even know if that's a letter. I just know alpha is and beta is. Sigma's got to be one, right? What should I do if I'm on fire? Depends on the context, right? If you're usually in a video game, if you're on fire, like a competitive video game, that's a good thing. Keep it up. Keep scoring those points. Keep getting those kills. You know what I mean? So that's good. That's good. Good work. If you're on fire as like a human being, if you don't intend to be on fire, probably stop, drop, and roll, I think would be my biggest advice. If you are someone who does like pyro art of some kind, like maybe you're some sort of cool magician that can do a trick where you like light stuff on fire and like your hands. I don't know. Again, the context really matters here. If you're doing something cool on purpose, keep it up. If you don't want to be on fire, then try not to be. Let me see. Do you remember interacting with each other on Twitter all the time? Like 10 years ago? I don't. I'm sorry. The only sane answer is no. Yeah, I'm sorry. The answer is no. I'm so sorry. The Scooby-Doo point-and-click games were incredible. The point-and-click games for the old... Those are like the ones that I can't get to work. So if you know how to get those to work, at least some of them are. I think there's an NES one that is a point-and-click that I can get to work because I can emulate an NES. But there was other ones that I can't quite figure out. Doom Patrol is pretty solid. Morrison's run is stellar. Hell yeah. I love Morrison, so that's good to hear. What's your current ADHD comfort food? Ooh, let me tell you, this is a great question, Music Man. This is a great question. Emily can tell you this. My favorite current ADHD comfort food, I've been making my own Egg McMuffins every morning. Emily has cookie cutters made of metal, and I realized I can use those to make a perfectly round little egg patty like they do at a McDonald's, and I can make my own Egg McMuffin at home every morning for breakfast. Fresh cracked egg, nice melted cheese on top, nicely toasted Egg McMuffin. This week, Emily made biscuits, so I can do a biscuit egg sandwich. Mwah, so good. I've augmented them here and there for a couple weeks with like this time I'll have bacon on it, this time I'll have sausage on it. Oh, so good. I made my own sausage like mix and everything a couple weeks back. That was great. Very, very good. A lot of protein also helps with the meds, with the ADHD meds and everything like that. You need a big, nice breakfast protein. It's been delicious. It's been the longest sort of kick that I've had for a food. Normally it's like 1 week, 2 weeks max. And then, but I'm on like 3 or 4 weeks now of doing the same thing every day. It's been delicious. Highly recommend. Cause it's just it's just an egg, an English muffin and some cheese. And then maybe if you want protein, you can, there's protein in the egg, but if you want meat, you can. Hot sauce. It's so easy. It's so simple. And I love it. And I get to make it fresh every morning for myself. When do you think WB will stop being cowards and give us a live action origin story for The Flash featuring everyone's favorite initiative, the Heavenly Helpmates? Put me in charge of WB. Put me in charge of Warner's Discovery. Let me make the decisions. It'll be funny for me. It'll be bad for everyone else. You'll look into getting them to work. I appreciate that. Getting those games to work. Thank you so much. Favorite Sherlock story? All right, last couple of questions. Favorite Sherlock story? Ooh, I haven't. Again, I'm still reading through some of the later ones, but I will tell you some of my favorites that I have read/listened to recently. Which, by the way, pro tip, if you're into Sherlock Holmes stuff as well, obviously there are audiobooks wherever you can find audiobooks, but there's also on YouTube BBC audio, like radio dramas that have actors and sound effects and music of a lot of the stories, and they're fairly accurate. I think they take some liberties here and there, but they're pretty accurate to the books because I listened to an audiobook story and then the radio version just to sort of compare and contrast out of curiosity. They're pretty good too. Anyway, my favorite that I've listened to recently is there's like Sherlock Holmes and I think there's one called like The Dancing Men, which I thought was pretty interesting. It's like maybe Adventure of the Dancing Men or something like that. Or The Case of the Dancing Men. I don't know. I thought that was really interesting just because I couldn't quite see where it was going at first. But then they tie it all together in the end. I think that's the one I can think of most recently. All right. Scooby-Doo point-and-click games were made on PC. Gotcha. Yes. I think that's why I'm having trouble emulating them. They're played on the PC. Yeah, I think that's why I'm having trouble emulating them. I made a massive pot of very thick and tasty soup yesterday. It's basically slop, but it's so filling and hearty. That's awesome. It's soup time. It's soup weather. Soup is great. Did someone say heavenly helpmates? That's right. All right. I think that's the end. Oh, we can set a super chat goal? That's cool. I'll do that next time. I'll do that when I do my Scooby-Doo live stream. All right, everyone, I'm off. I think. And I'll see you. Thanks for joining. I'll see you guys next time. Maybe we'll try to do more cool live streams like this. And I mean, I will. I'll do more live streams next, or in the future. Raise money for paternity leave for baby. But I appreciate you all being here, and I appreciate the couple super chats and all the new follows and cool people. Yeah, thanks for being chill. Thanks for not being weird. All right, I'm gonna end the stream now. Bye-bye.